Today, a neoclassical home usually means wealth, especially if you have to import marble. Neoclassical mansions first started popping up in the United States during the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age is a period of time between the assassination of Abraham Lincoln and roughly the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt. It's called the Gilded Age because on the surface everything seemed made of gold, but if you scratch the surface, you would find out that everything was really made of crap. This is one of the most chaotic periods of American history. Politicians were blatantly corrupt, income inequality was astronomical, and these new things called millionaires were essentially running the nation. Their wealth was possible for a number of reasons, including a lack of government regulation, the absence of a personal income tax, and cheap labor, which usually came in the form of children and immigrants. In 1886, President Rutherford B. Hayes journaled, "This is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, no longer. It is a government by the corporations, of the corporations, and for the corporations." Super inspiring. This was also the era of the political cartoon, aka the vintage meme. From Wikipedia, many of the wealthy had undertaken grand tours of Europe, during which they admired the estates of the nobility. Seeing themselves as the American equivalent, they wished to emulate the old world dwellings on American soil, and spent extravagantly to do so, often seeking to one-up each other. There is something about having the taste of a Roman emperor or a European noble that just gives me a bad taste. Rome fell, and centuries of looking at Roman ruins was supposed to teach us that the higher we climb, the harder we fall. Also, during the not-so-distant French Revolution, the French peasants decapitated every noble person they could get their hands on. Nevertheless, these Gilded Age mansions kicked off a trend of American opulence that continues to this day. Let's check them out. The Vanderbilt Marble House is one of the most famous Gilded Age mansions. This mansion is considered a quote-unquote summer home or cottage for Alva and William K. Vanderbilt. Alva would later divorce William and fight for women's right to vote. The symmetrical house has a rectangular pediment propped up by lavish Corinthian columns. The house also has friezes of Corinthian columns. These columns are not structural and serve no purpose besides decoration. The Vanderbilts spent $7 million on marble alone. From the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the Marble House was a social and architectural landmark that set the pace for Newport, Rhode Island's transformation from a quiet summer colony of wooden houses to the legendary resort of opulent stone palaces. You can see the Marble House in the TV show The Gilded Age. Madam C.J. Walker was born into a sharecropping family in Louisiana. She built her fortune by selling beauty products to Black women. She told the New York Times, "I am not a millionaire, but I hope to be someday, not because of the money, but because I could do so much to help my race." In 1918, during World War I, she finally built her dream home in Irvington, New York. She said, "Now I am surrounded by all of my dreams come true." Madam Walker's Villa Lawaro features Ionic columns and a white rotunda. Madam Walker only lived here for 2 years because she died in 1919. Her family continued to host Black dignitaries at Villa Lawaro throughout the 20th century, often when the White House would not. Today, neoclassical architecture is more of a symbolic choice than a practical one. The Colosseum and the Capitol building are big buildings that serve a lot of people. Mansions are big buildings that serve a few people. So what does architecture's homage to the Roman Empire have to say? Does it say, "I am a ruler of Rome," or does it signal a service to the people? I suppose it depends on who is inside.